Before Pennywise was terrifying theaters in 2017, he was haunting living rooms all across America and making an entire group of people terrified of clowns.
Aren't you gonna say hello?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kill the Credits. I'm Keelan, and today we're going to be sailing through the dark sewers of Derry to give you guys my review of the original It. Released in 1990, It isn't really a movie in the traditional sense. It's a two-part miniseries that aired on ABC and adapted the 1,000-plus page novel written by Stephen King. Directed by Tommy Lee Wallace, it tells the story of the loser club as kids taking on a creature that feeds on fear, and then later coming back as adults to finally finish the job. Now, if you didn't grow up with this film, chances are it's a rough watch. I've shown this movie to many friends only to be met with underwhelming reactions, but for me personally, I know this movie had myself and my siblings in a chokehold when we were younger. I remember being maybe 7 or 8 years old, sitting on the ground in my grandma's living room, being absolutely terrified. Pennywise's bright colors left an impression on me that still lingers to this day. So while my memories might be personal, let's go ahead and talk about why it works, or maybe even stumbles, starting off with the writing and the structure. So the miniseries adapts a massive novel, which means it's going to be a given that there are subplots and other details completely cut out of the film. And while I'd say this does benefit the movie because it might help with pacing at times, there are other glaring moments where it obviously feels underdeveloped or rushed. So even though most people probably watched this as one condensed movie, it was a mini-series, so it was released into 2 parts. Part 1 focuses on the kids jumping between their past and their present day reunion. And I have to say, this is definitely the stronger half. The child actors give the story real heart and character, and it's also much more terrifying seeing the horrors unfold from the children's eyes rather than their adult counterparts later on in the story. Part 2 focuses on present day with the loser club being adults. Sadly, the story just doesn't have as much intrigue and there's no real payoff for everything that they built up in part 1. But the story wouldn't work at all without the cast bringing it to life. So let's talk about a couple specific performances. We gotta just start off with a bang. We're talking Tim Curry. Tim Curry as Pennywise is the heart and soul of this miniseries. His ability to flip between goofy clown antics and predatory menace is unforgettable. One minute he's cracking jokes and the next he's biting your arm off. And his stare, voice, and body language quickly cemented Pennywise as a horror icon. The adult losers are fine. They're not overly terrible, but there's really nothing to write home about either. The child actors, on the other hand, they certainly steal the show. Jonathan Brandis as young Bill, Seth Green as young Richie, and Emily Perkins as young Beverly are the standouts. At the time of the release of the film, their chemistry was highly praised, even drawing comparisons to Stand By Me. Strong characters aside, horror lives or dies on its atmosphere. So let's go ahead and talk about that next. Being made for TV meant that it didn't have this big budget cinematic look, but oddly enough, it honestly works in its favor. I feel like the stripped down visuals highlight the small town creepiness of Derry. And something that's always visually stuck out to me about this movie is the glaring contrast between the bright reds and yellows of Pennywise against the much more muted palette of the rest of the film. To me, that separation has always made Pennywise feel even more uncanny. And sure, some of the effects look dated, the giant spider coming to mind the most. But for the most part, I'd say majority of the effects still hold up even to today's standards. The fortune cookie scene, for example, is still skin-crawlingly effective. I've always hated that scene. But atmosphere isn't just what you see, it's also what you feel through scares. And the scariest moments aren't the gore or monsters, it's really just Pennywise himself. His presence alone, just even simply standing off in the distance somewhere, is unsettling enough. And for me, one of the best examples of this is when Pennywise comes alive in Mike's photo album. Watching him slowly move from the background, flip his way into the foreground, run up onto the pole in your face, and then deliver that chilling monologue.
I'll kill you all. I'll drive you crazy and I'll kill you all.
It's just a perfect mix of playful and terrifying. And of course, we can't skip over the infamous sewer drain scene. I mean, the rain, the balloon, the dialogue. In my opinion, it's the perfect tone setter for the movie. And to this day, I still refuse to walk by sewer drains if I can help it. Every time I see one, no thanks, I'm good. I'm going around, I'll go to the other side of the road. I'm not doing it, you can't make me. But scares also come from sound, which brings us to the music. The score definitely has that TV movie feel to it, sometimes even being a little melodramatic. But Richard Bellis's work is supremely effective. Georgie's theme in particular is one that really blends innocent playfulness and longing sadness. Perfectly capturing the tone of the entire story. Richard's music really elevates certain scenes throughout, almost creating more atmosphere than the visuals or even the scares. All of these elements, story, characters, visuals, sound, atmosphere, they come together to form something long-lasting way beyond its original release. We're talking legacy, baby. Critics aside, the It miniseries has an undeniable legacy. It introduced a whole generation to clown-based terror and even proved that horror could thrive on television, paving the way for series like The Walking Dead and American Horror Story. And most importantly, it solidified Pennywise as a certified horror icon. So, does It 1990 still hold up today? Personally, I really think it does. I mean, I rewatched it right before doing this review, and I still loved all the things I remember loving back in the day. I mean, sure, if you're watching it for the first time today, the flaws are going to be extremely hard to ignore. The runtime drags, and even some of the effects haven't aged well, but even with that, there's still a lot of fun to have with this version. And while I really did enjoy Bill Skarsgård in his iteration in the new movies, Tim Curry is forever my Pennywise. He's what really makes this miniseries unforgettable and worthy of revisiting from time to time. But that's just me. Do you think It 1990 still works? Or is it better left in the past? Be sure to let me know down in the comments. And that is all I have for you today, my friends. Like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss up on any of the new horror content. Be safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Assuming I don't float away first.
They all flow down.